Woo.
Hey guys, welcome to NewsBlast. Big people, big news today.
Big news.
Mike Walters, Gary Trock. So look, we broke a big story on the website this morning, theblast.com, that Malia Obama may be caught in the crosshairs of this Harvey Weinstein scandal and lawsuit. Remember, we broke the story that a class action lawsuit is being filed against Harvey Weinstein with all of the victims or any person, the way class action works, any person in a similar situation to some of those victims can come forward and join up this big, massive federal lawsuit where, as a group, they can sue.
Yep.
So we
By
talked
the way,
to.
remember this lawsuit is also alleging that Harvey Weinstein and the Weinstein Company was involved in possible racketeering and operating a corrupt organization. They're trying to. It's a civil suit, but they are trying to basically push authorities into investigating for RICO charges.
To be honest, look, we've done a lot of stories in the last few days about the back and forth between Harvey Weinstein and the company, whether the company knew about the settlements, that they kind of helped cover some of it up.
Facilitate it.
If they did, I don't think that's a bad argument. That I think that they may at least look at this case if a company like that got involved to kind of hush some of this up. So that's one thing. The lawsuit itself, this Malia Obama thing,
Which
is really
hasn't been filed yet.
Hasn't been filed, right? Hasn't been filed. It's coming soon though, and obviously we'll give it to you when it comes. It's an interesting thing. One is, look, we all know this is a big name. This is the president's daughter. I get that why they would want to depose her, but just as a strategy, look. She was in this office. She worked for Harvey Weinstein. If you guys didn't know, she interned at the company.
Earlier this year for about 3 months.
Right, but when Barack Obama's daughter is in the building, my guess is your experience as an intern is a little different from her experience as an intern.
We actually worked on this when it was going on, I remember, and she wasn't just going to get coffee and
that's what I meant. Yeah, she was involved. Getting lunch.
Yeah, she was actually reading scripts, pitching them to the executives as potential projects that the Weinstein Company may be involved with. Yeah. And if she's pitching scripts to executives, who do you think she's talking to?
That's absolutely. Harvey Weinstein, when Obama's daughter's in the office, is right there saying, hey, come listen to this meeting. Now, I will say another thing. I'm not the lawyer in this case, but I would imagine that this is the next thing that's going to happen. Someone like Obama's daughter probably also was on email chains during the time period she was there, where they'd say like, hey, we're going to go do this. Hey, we're going to go do that. Not that a sensitive settlement situation would she be brought into by any means.
Yeah.
But some of those, we talked to the people involved in this case, the Armenta Law Group, and they said, look, some of the things that they're looking for is just a strategy. Like some of the emails she may have seen leads a path down the road of what happened with some of these settlements. That is what they want.
Yeah, well, even further than that, some people that we spoke to, they're very familiar with this kind of whole strategy, and they're saying that they believe it's possible that she may have heard something, saw something, and told her father about it. And if Barack knew that something was going on, I'm being told, and you were being told over the weekend, that it could be the reason for Harvey's quick downfall, that the company knew that if President Obama knew what was going on, that they wanted to protect themselves as quickly as possible, the millions of dollars in assets that the company's dealing with. So they got together and they ousted him quickly as possible. Now, unfortunately, if Malia knows kind of the inner workings of what was going on with possible settling, covering up stuff, it could open the doors for further questioning to the other employees when this lawsuit gets filed.
Yeah, and I'll end by saying this. Look, if you haven't done a deposition in any lawsuit, it's not fun. Like this is Malia Obama. Like this is somebody who does not want to go into a law office, sit down and be grilled by lawyers who are trying to like dig out information and get her to say things that then she has to own up to, or that could hurt Harvey Weinstein. Look, Weinstein was a huge donator to the Democratic Party, to Hillary Clinton, to all these guys. The last thing they want is Obama's daughter, to be in there saying, well, I did hear this one time and I did hear, because then it could be used against him, which is what they don't want.
Malia, if this happens, just needs to remember those 3 magical little words. All lawyers tell their clients. I can't recall.
And if you need, yeah.
I don't watch Little Wayne's.
I can't recall. I
deposition.
can't recall what you just said. I have no idea what you
No,
just said.
I don't know what you're talking about. I can't recall. And you are in the clear.
All right, so I try to do something fun after something harsh. But we need to get to another big story real quick.
Yeah.
It's not a fun story, but it was a big story we broke over the weekend that's still a major thing right now. One of the members of the Pussycat Dolls, if you haven't heard about this story, her name is Kaya.
Former alleged member.
Well, that's part of the story, right? I wasn't really close to proximity of the Pussycat Dolls when they were famous. I know it was a singing group. I don't know much else.
Like a dance
so I can't argue whether she was actually in it or kind of in it for a while. But her name is Kaya. She came forward on social media and basically said that the Pussycat Dolls was a prostitution ring. Now, she used that phrase, prostitution ring. Wasn't specific that the act of prostitution was ever used or done. It was just that it almost seemed like she was saying, because of the Harvey Weinstein environment in Hollywood, that something like that may have gone on with the Pussycat Dolls. Remember, there was tons of young ladies who were in that group. They went through a lot of people. They had shows where more than just the initial 6 or 7 of them were involved. But
they recorded an album.
Yeah, several albums. Several albums.
Successful.
So anyways, we got a hold of Robin Anton, who created that group, who managed that group.
Founded it, owns it, runs it.
She said it's crap.
Yeah, I mean, she said she was extremely upset about these allegations by Kaya. And the first thing, I mean, she said that everybody in the group and they all kind of laughed about it at first, but the fact that she's saying these things is damaging to the brand, to the girls and everything. So she thought it was very important to come out and say that she believes Kaya, or she is saying Kaya is full of crap. That first off, she's saying Kaya was never in the Pussycat Dolls, and that she was basically on a trial for a very short period of time. There's a ton of girls over the years. They try you out. Sometimes you work, sometimes you don't, and Kaya was one of the ones that washed out. So she's saying for her to even talk about knowing the inner workings of the group is complete BS.
Right.
She's also saying, obviously, these are ridiculous lies. She's very upset about it. One of the things she was really, really upset about, though, was Kaya referenced a woman named Simone Battle, who committed suicide a few years back. She was a member of a group called GRL, which Robin created and managed.
Yes.
And Kaya was basically alleging that, this is why Simone committed suicide, and that Robin kind of had, she was the kind of the one of the catalysts for it. And Robin told me she was really sickened to even hear that
bring her into
that is basically in such a brazen way is disrespectful to not only her family but to everybody that works towards suicide prevention and awareness. That to basically accuse someone and blame them for someone's suicide is basically the lowest of the low. And that she says Kaya it's disgusting, and that she's pulling out all the stops to get her 15 minutes of fame. Obviously, with the Harvey Weinstein stuff going on, she thinks she could kind of hop on it a little bit. But she was really, really upset about it. And I was told by that the lawyer for the Pussycat Dolls has actually drafted a legal letter that they're sending to Kaya, basically saying, shut your mouth or, face the consequences.
Well, like I said, we have reached out to a bunch of people in this case. We will bring it to you on theblast.com as it updates and unfolds. I don't think you've heard the last of this story. Like Gary said,
No.
I think that Pussycat Dolls are going to protect their brand, but I also know there are as many other people that are around. And also look, and I think it's a great thing that in the environment that we're in currently, it's giving some of the victims of some of this stuff in Hollywood the platform to come out and talk about what happened to them. I am not saying that anything Kaya is saying is true. I'm saying that I don't think this is the last bit of that you'll hear about this stuff. And look, I think if what she's saying is untrue, then I think some of the Pussycat Dolls may come forward and say, guys, we were there. None of this ever happened.
Yeah, and I think kind of like what you're saying is it is great that a lot of the victims are able to come out now and talk about their stories, share their experiences. Unfortunately, I think it also does open the door for people who may not be as genuine and
just make allegations.
Make allegations, and
that could hurt people.
That can be damaging, especially in this
long-term damage.
What we're dealing with in every single day to kind of throw that out there, and we're dealing with a lot of people who pick that up and take it on face value, and that's what Robin was trying to correct.
So I want to do something fun.
Yeah.
You know, let's talk about something fun. It's a great day.
Yeah.
It's National Boss Day.
National Boss Day.
So I would expect.
A present?
Yeah.
I knew.
What do you got?
I knew that was
I
coming.
haven't gotten anything today.
Yeah.
Not only have I not gotten anything, Gary wanted to do something on our site for National Bosses Day, which I believe is there right now.
Yes.
Like where you can see our favorite TV bosses, where you can click through the gallery, look at the fun photos. But it was whispered in the office, like it was kind of like, "Hey, to the studio," and I was like, "Wait, what's a what day?" No, Mike, don't
National
worry, Mike.
Bosses
Just yeah. What?
I mean, there's also National like Employees Day too, and I don't think you
whatever
want to be on
day
the
that
hook
is.
for that.
No, what are you talking about? Whatever day that is, I will take you down the street for frozen yogurt.
Oh,
but
I appreciate
today, it
Frozen
feels,
yogurt. I like.
feel like
I need
they're.
froyo. Like I have regular ice cream.
No, I think you need to go sugar free. I think you need to go
Non-fat
sugar
froyo.
free.
One topic.
I was gonna say I want pizza, but it's if you felt obliged to make it just cheese and not pepperoni because you think I shouldn't eat, then I would.
I would be okay with that. Yeah.
I would be okay. I'm just throwing it out there one more time. National Bosses Day.
Want something? Wants pizza.
Pizza. Okay.
Well,
anyways.
we compiled a list
Yeah,
of our
okay.
some of our favorite.
Yeah.
I mean, you going back and realizing like characters, and whenever you quote people, and you realize like a lot of the greatest characters are bosses,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
at their workplaces. So we put together some of our favorites. So starting with Michael Scott from The Office. You can't. I mean, Michael Scott's the greatest. There's a long running joke in our
Yeah.
own office about Michael Scott.
Me being similar. Yeah.
Leslie Knope from Parks and Rec.
That's a good one.
She is amazing. Selena Meyer from Veep.
That's a good one.
Got it. Jack Donaghy, 30 Rock. Did you ever watch 30
I don't
Rock?
watch 30 Walk.
Hilarious.
The next one's my favorite.
Oh, yeah, of course. Mr.
Mr.
Burns.
Burns.
C. Montgomery Burns.
Yeah, it's the best guy ever.
Tried to block out the sun, but he still loves everybody in Springfield.
I love it.
Tony Soprano. That's
a good one.
Probably my favorite.
Yeah,
I
that's a
love
good one.
Soprano.
That's a good one.
Cookie Lyons from Empire.
Oh, that's
Right
a
up.
good.
That was a
You know, I
favorite in the
haven't
room.
watched it in a while, but what a good show.
She's Boss Female.
She's
Boss Female's
great.
winning.
Yeah, she's great on that show. The best.
Easter egg there. Don Draper from
yeah.
Mad Men.
Yeah.
And of course, there's somebody in our office who will love this. The greatest boss of all time, Bruce Springsteen.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Can't leave out the
Can't
boss.
leave
We're
out
talking
the
about
actual
bosses.
boss. Yeah, the boss of us all. The
Yeah.
boss of us all.
Absolutely.
All right. Big thing going on right now in Hollywood. Ed Sheeran may have to cancel his entire
The Asian leg of the
tour because he hurt himself. And it is a big trending topic because no, we don't want Ed Sheeran not to do his concerts. Ed Sheeran's awesome. And
It's not just he hurt himself; he got hit by a car while he was riding his bicycle.
Well, okay, he's okay. I'm talking
Well,
more
he's got
about
a broken arm.
the guitar playing hand. Like,
Yeah,
that part to me. Like, and by the way, this is no offense to Ed Sheeran, but couldn't he just have someone else play guitar? It's his
the
sweet
thing, though.
voice
Yeah.
that really gets you in the concert. Couldn't he just let somebody else play guitar?
I don't know, but it's like, I mean, you look better with a guitar in your hand, and I always feel like if you're just singing and you don't have a guitar, you don't look as cool.
You're just
the guy singing.
Yeah,
It's like,
maybe you're
the guitar
right.
really adds
you're
that
right.
mystique to you. Like you are the
like if Ed
musician.
Sheeran was at a party and just started singing, you'd be like, "Hey,
I'd be like, oh. But
what are you talking?" But if he pulled out the guitar,
absolutely.
Yeah, no, I was listening to. It's interesting. I was listening to an interview with I think it was Jamie Foxx.
Yeah.
About with Howard Stern
with the
about
piano.
about having like a thing in his house where people just come and start playing. And Ed Sheeran was one of the guys that showed up.
Yeah.
And was like a young kid in the industry. And he just like jumped on the piano and grabbed a guitar.
Yeah.
And like everyone at Jamie Foxx's house party was like, "Whoa,
There was always
this kid's
those
money.
guys
Like this
that did
kid's
that.
great."
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's sad for the
I mean, it's a lot of
Asian
money.
part of the world
It's a
that
lot of money out there.
going
that
to see these concerts.
Yeah,
That sucks.
he was supposed to go next week and start in Japan.
Yeah.
So he did say that there's for the U.S. part of his tour in 2018, it looks like that will still be okay, but he'll have to go back to Asia.
Can I ask you a question? I mean, you're the news guy here.
Am I?
Yeah. You're the news guy here. Is it that Ed Sheeran made up the car thing because it's cool that you get hit by a car?
No,
and
he
like
actually
slipped brushing his teeth.
No,
it seems like to me like it looks like cool with his like that looks cool. Like
Yeah.
his like thing, and his buddies can draw weed
But
leaves
you
on
thought
and
like
stuff,
he was like balancing like cereal
Yeah,
and like a hamburger down the stairs.
Because
And that's
when
what
you're
he
that
said.
cool and you're famous,
I
you can't be
didn't
like,
do that.
"Hey guys, I was on the toilet and I stood up and hit my head on the towel rack and I fell on the bathtub.
I think you make up a better
You're like,
story.
I got hit by a bus. Like, it's cool. It's like, whoa.
He actually didn't say the car thing, though, so that's why I believe it. Because he just said he got hurt, has to cancel some shows, and then somebody actually went on the radio out in London and said, no, he got hit by a car. And he like went to the hospital. He was really bad.
Okay, it's cool then.
Yeah.
There's one more thing we want to talk about with you guys.
Mike actually really wants to talk about it.
I'm just going to let Gary go. Look,
Mike is so excited for the Black Panther movie coming out. And I'm going to let him talk to you not only about what Black Panther represents in our culture, but why he's specifically excited to see it.
I think that this sounds like a good movie. I just am not a huge Marvel, DC Comics, Superman fan. I'm just not involved in a lot of the comic stuff, especially in the movies.
You like Game of Thrones?
You know what? And being around you, I have really started, and Daniel, who's out, you guys know Daniel, I've been trying to get myself, like Game of Thrones, the fantasy in Game of Thrones is minimal. Like it's there, like there's, some of it couldn't happen in real life, but most of it is medieval riding horses, castles, scandal, which all did happen probably, some of that stuff. This flying through the air and like it's just like
dragons definitely happen.
Yeah, it's like I didn't grow up reading comics, and so I think a lot of these movies do really well because there's an entire large group of people that watch those kind of movies, like that are any Superman, Batman comes out, bam, you've got the audience, millions and millions of people. If you were saying this is a different kind of movie, I will go watch this movie. Maybe you could take me to see this movie for National Bosses Day.
Is it fair to say that up until about a half hour ago, you thought Black Panther had to do with the actual movement?
No, that's why I asked you about it because I thought it was like a history movie, and I am interested in. I am a history buff, so yes, if it was about the movement, I would be there.
Yeah.
Now that that it's just a comic book movie, I'm less interested.
Well, Marvel just released a new trailer for Black Panther. We
put it on the site.
Yes,
go look at theblast.com.
Well, it's all about awesome. Michael B. Jordan. Here's the thing: is everybody knew that Chadwick Boseman, he plays Black Panther. He has this awesome suit, but Michael B. Jordan, who's the villain he plays, Killmonger, has his own type of Black Panther suit. It's like a different cat. I don't think it's a panther. Some people are saying a jaguar, perhaps, but it's like gold, and it's made out of the vibranium, which is only found in Wakanda. That's why Wakanda's so rich, by the way, because they have the only deposit of vibranium in the entire world, and they have become super rich from that. Now, this takes place in the Marvel Cinematic Universe after Civil War. I don't know if you watched that, but that's when Black Panther first made his appearance. He was trying to avenge his father's death, who was killed by the Winter Soldier.
I have no idea. Well, Gary,
so good.
Whatever you just said, I hope everyone watching this really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, great. You know what? Look, I went to see the Lego Ninjago movie with my son. That was awesome. It was a little, I don't know how it compares necessarily.
Same
but
deal.
You know what? Great. Whatever you just said, I hope you guys go watch the trailer. It's on our site.
It's pretty great.
I would, because of the buttered popcorn and the red vines.
Yes.
If you invited me to see this movie for National Bosses Day, I would go with you.
It's not out till next year, but maybe next Bosses Day we can go see it.
Well, you know what? We should go see Lego Ninjago.
I would love to go see Ninjago.
All right. Every day, 12 noon Pacific, NewsBlast. We are here every day. Come back to Facebook Live. Watch us. We bring you the up-to-date news every single day, the biggest stories in Hollywood. As you have heard today, we are going over, we are cutting edge. When the news is breaking, you're getting it on theblast.com. Come back throughout the day. You're going to see new stuff every time you come back. And every day at this time at 12 noon Pacific, we'll go over those big stories. Like I said, sometimes we give you stuff here that you won't get anywhere else. You won't get even on our own site because, me and Gary and Caitlin and Josh. You guys, by the way, everyone got to meet Josh on Friday. Awesome.
Everyone met Josh.
Awesome. I didn't get to see it. I was gone Friday, but That's
No, he took
that's
it.
awesome.
He
That's
did
awesome.
great.
You guys get to meet, Caitlin's around. You guys get to see and hear everything from a perspective of people that actually break the news and actually are involved in these things that you are hearing about. So come back and see us.
Yep.
12 noon.
And for more Marvel reviews by Mike.
Yeah,
we're gonna have those in the future.
And if you just want to tail off, why don't you replay what Gary said for the last 30
I just
minutes?
wanted an ISO cam
and just
on
go,
Mike's face.
Just
trying to,
go. It sounds like this. That's all it pretty much was. It was just a low tone
That's
of
great.
like, like just
That's
play it out on Gary.
I sound
Play like low music from the Academy and
the
just
Snoopy character.
You like giving your speech about how
Speaking of the Academy, dude, we have to before okay.
Yeah.
Like I finally made it to where they filmed the Academy Awards at the Dolby over the weekend
I would.
for Paw Patrol Live.
I want to. When we do big people, big
Oh,
news, we
man.
should do what did you do over the weekend if it's a Monday.
Yeah,
Me and Gary had the totally different weekend.
Yeah, I was at Paw Patrol Live at the Dolby. It was fantastic. There were about 5,000. I think I was sitting like where like Tom Hanks usually sits, except there was some kids screaming in my face next to me.
If you keep doing that, I am taking you home right now.
And it was, what's great about those events though with the parents, and everybody can relate to this with kids. There's like an unspoken bond between, no matter race, religion, credence, wherever you come from, when you're at these events, every parent, when you make eyes with someone else, we all give them, feel your pain, bro. Feel your pain.
Not your
Understood,
fault.
not your fault. Like
Like
everybody's kid, your kid's, going crazy, and everybody grabs a kid and just looks around, and everyone goes, we understand. It's okay. Like we all get it.
Gary was saying when he got in the office this morning that the kids are loud, and instead of like trying to start it, they just start, and then if the kids get louder, they just play the music and stuff louder.
It's genius. I mean, they do a
just keep
fantastic
going louder
job
and
of it,
louder,
but it's like it's an escalation of sound over it. And so at the end, everybody's just yelling as loud as they possibly can at the very end. It was pretty great.
Got the tops of my shoulders waxed. So. I don't know if we're gonna be able to sit here and discuss that. Yeah, it's
The wings.
if I could cuss a lot on Facebook Live, I would.
I tried to do the nair.
Absolutely the most painful
it's
thing.
awful.
Like it's so awful, and it was like,
Why would you do that
I'm
before
37, and all of a sudden there's like black hairs that are popping up here, and I'm like, dude.
Yeah, but it's winter. Why didn't you
I take pride in my arms, and it was 95 where I live.
Yeah, but
it was
it's not
95,
beach
and
season.
so I know, but like I thought, instead of just like trying to pull out no, it was terrible, and it is not like your eyebrows, like they say. And shout out to Michelle out there, my
I'm sorry,
my girl,
Michelle.
she took care of me. But yeah,
Like, we're gonna need a big battle
terrible.
axe for
We
this.
could have live streamed that on Facebook. We should have. Yeah, because it was terrible. So, anyways, we'll see you guys 12 noon Pacific tomorrow. Later.